Hey everybody, it's Ryan from Pi Records, and I'm here with Lorenzo from 13 Tikis. How are you, Lorenzo?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Thank you.
Good, good. So, on the recommendation of Jim Abrahams, he suggested I hit up a couple of Chicago bands, and your name came up, and I want to talk a little bit about what your band does. Are you cool with that?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. So, first, tell me where you got the name 13 Tikis.
That's the $1 million question. It was our old leader came up with it, and it was initially for stuff he was doing. He was doing all kinds of other stuff, but it was 13 Tikis. But there's nothing. It seems a little mysterious, you know. 13 and Tiki sounded cool together, and
Yeah.
yeah, nothing, no major thought went into any of that. You know, it was just something that happened, and here we are. You know,
Cool. So, tell me a little bit about your band, who's playing in the band now, and what kind of ground you cover.
we go wherever we're asked to go, basically, and we have two guitar players, a sax player, and a drummer. We have Susie Stocking plays the saxophone with us, and Steve Martini is one of our guitar players. He's from the Cocktail Preachers originally, but he's been in the band and long time, maybe 13 years now. And then we have Justin. He's the newest member of the band. He came on board. It's been a long time for him too. Not quite 13 years, but about 7 or 8 maybe. Then we have Anthony Long on the drums. Me and him played together in a hard rock band a long time ago, and when it came time to get a new drummer, he was first call. So that's the lineup has been pretty solid for about 8 years.
Cool.
8 out of 16.
And what type of surf music? How would you describe your style?
We're basically an instrumental band, and it's just easier to say, because you say you're an instrumental band, they think jazz. And then even with the surf, they say, oh, like the Beach Boys, and singing about the beach it's not surf, you know. It's you got to excuse me, but I'm not a fan of Beach Boys. You know, I'm more a fan of music itself. You know, so yeah, we're basically an instrumental band that puts a lot of reverb on the guitars. You know, so yeah, again, it's just easier to say we're a surf band than, you know, go through the whole explanation.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what type of music have you worked on? Is it primarily covers? Is it primarily originals, or a mixture of both?
Yep, both. We started off as a Link Ray tribute band, and that was only supposed to be one show. That's where I came in. I was drafted to play one show, and we started, you know, the ball started rolling, started getting more and more gigs, and that's how we started getting into surf to supplement. You know, how many Link Ray songs can you play?
Right.
And well, you know, we were having to cover like 3 sets worth, you know, like 3 hours.
Wow.
So we had to go somewhere, and that's how we started covering surf. But as time went on, we started writing our own stuff, and you know, when we do grab some stuff, some surf or instrumental, I try to reach far back, and there's a lot of obscure music that we play. You know, it's not the classics.
Right.
So
right. Even the Ventures, they didn't consider themselves a surf band. They did a lot of psychedelic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. You can definitely hear the surf element with what we do. Again, the reverb, a lot of reverb, you know, stuff like that. That would put us in the surf category, I suppose, you know. And it does, it's not like it bothers us or anything, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a surf band that's not too much of a surf band.
So you mentioned Link Ray. As far as other instrumental bands, who would you say plays a huge part in who played a huge part in the formation of this band and the direction that you wanted to go in?
Oh, it was just Link Ray. That was it. You know, we just wanted to be cool like Link Ray. So that's how we started. And then, I mean, since we started playing surf covers, we've abandoned most of the traditional stuff. You know, we'll play Miserloo. It's a lot of fun to play. It gets people sing, but we save that stuff for like car shows when you go and there's a lot of older people. You know, we played a car show for 11 years outside of Chicago, and the first time we show up, these guys were not happy because their car show was going on. And once we were finished playing, they were lined up at the bottom of the stage, you know, like, hey, I remember that. And it was cool. They were cool after that, you know. They said, yeah, they remembered all those old tunes. So we saved the classic stuff for, you know, older crowd. I mean, we'll throw it in once in a while to have fun, you know, see people, get people moving, you know. But it was, for this band, it was just all about Link Ray, just being cool like that and having some kind of edge with your, you know, Link Ray wasn't a surf instrumentalist, you know, it was just, he was just a cool guitar player, you know, came up with some cool stuff. So that's what we wanted to be. And when we were trying to get Link Ray into the Rock and Roll fame, we played a show in Cleveland and we met Link Ray's Raymond, and it was Link Ray's grandson, and one of his original bass players. I understand there was a couple. His name was Ed Siner, and he loved us, and he threw a couple of songs our way that he thought we should play, and so we started playing it. You know, we even recorded one. It's called Steel Trap.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I mean, we just hit record, made a quick video of it, and we sent it off to him. It was our first time trying it. You know, we all rehearsed it on our own, and then we got into our practice spot and we just hit record and did it. And then we sent it off to Ed, and he was just like totally blown away, which was cool for us, you know, that Link Ray's bass player something, you know, he said, you guys are something else. Oh, that could have meant something bad too, you know.
So
I took it as good. I took it as positive.
I think it is positive too. So one thing I noticed, let me see if I have it here.
Oh yeah.
Right up at the top.
Yeah.
Right up at the top.
Yeah, that's cool that we're at the top.
Yeah. What it amazes me that I haven't heard more out of Chicago, being that there's so much music going on there, and for them to have the ability to put a comp out of Chicago bands must mean it's rich in instrumental music. Would you care to comment on the Chicago music scene?
Yeah, we're friends with a lot of different bands that do different things. You know, I don't think I know any other surf bands. I know the guys in Alewife, they do a more Latin tinged kind of thing. And then the Breakers do something different. There was another band called the Alder Kings. They totally did something way different. And but we hang around with rockabilly bands, you know, country bands. We just played last week with a country band. That's probably wrong. They were more like honky tonk. They were really rocking. They're good friends of ours, and it was good to have them. We don't just stick with having a whole surf night. You know, when we play with somebody, we always try to get somebody different, give people a little bit of variety. But I just know the Breakers. I know Alewife, and I tell you the Alder Kings. I don't know too many other bands. yeah, it's basically just us in Chicago proper, you know.
So what makes what makes your brand of music special? Like what is it about your history that you think people might be interested to know?
Yeah, I don't know about our history, but it's our live show. It's when people, they've been asking us forever. We're still trying to get around to, we record here and there, but we're still trying to get it all together and do a proper record or a couple of proper records, you know. And I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe we're just too slack. But you know, the live show is definitely, I always tell people, they say, what, how would I tell someone about you? I said, well, come and see us. And then you tell your friends, you know, and yeah, that's basically it. And you know, there's always someone trying to say, oh, you're going to get exposure from this gig. We don't need exposure. We're totally exposed already, you know. We've been doing it almost 16 years now, and when somebody throws that out, like, oh, we're going to give you this much, or we're going to put you on at this time because it's exposure, I'm like, we don't need your exposure, you know.
Well, it's all about the music, right? And the show.
Yeah.
Like people in the Chicago area will know your name and they'll come to see the show.
Hopefully. But yeah, we've we're in our circle, we're known, you know, and that's fine. You know, yeah, when we play around, it's funny in Chicago, people from one neighborhood don't go to another neighborhood just because they just don't, you know. So I'll play in a bar, even though it's only like 2 miles away. People from my neighborhood usually don't come out, you know. And then when I play over this way, people from out that way don't come this way. It's a little weird. It's sometimes frustrating. And I just say, come on out, man, you know. So yeah, we've gotten pretty much past that, and we're able just to play anywhere and be able to see friends out in the audience.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
it's like with any other band, you know. It's strange, you know. It's hit or miss all the time, you know. No.
What have you been doing recently? Have you had some shows to play?
Yeah, since July, we've gotten at least back to playing once a month. Sometimes something else comes up, we'll play a couple of times. We're used to playing around 3 times a month, you know. We all work because we don't, we like to live the lifestyle that we are living, you know. We all drink well, eat well. We're not want, so having the day jobs keeps us from having to take every dumb, shitty gig that comes your way just to pay, you know, a bill, the rent,
Right.
whatever. So, but we'll still go out 3 times a month, sometimes sometimes more, you know. But right now, since everything's starting to open up a little more, we are up to once a month, sometimes twice. And yeah, right now we have just a short break until April, but stuff comes up all the time, you know. People are always calling us like, hey, what are you guys doing? And if we're not doing anything, we go out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Have you guys been able to get together and jam as a band as a whole?
Not so much lately. So we've all been working on more stuff, more original songs, and I have around 7. Our guitar player has a few. Our other guitar player has a few. Even our drummer went and bought himself a bass so he can write a song that we might, you know, be able to learn, as opposed to him just beating on some drums, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we have not been able to, because it's been a little shaky with the COVID out, you know, as with everywhere, you know. So we don't know what's going on, and we don't want to expose anyone. we'll rehearse right before a gig. You know, if it's something, if we don't have to play 3 hours, we'll just get together once and then go over stuff and, you know, just to get ready. And then when the gig comes, we're all sitting there like, oh, I hope we play well. But it always comes out fine. You know, I was fretting last Friday, like, oh, you know, I got to remember all this stuff, and we nailed it.
As being together 16 years will do that for you.
Yeah. We got it together pretty good. We don't interact on the stage, you know, usually, unless somebody makes a mistake, and then you wait a second, then you look at them like, what the hell, man, you know. But I've gotten those looks many times.
So you're the guitar player?
I'm the bass player.
The bass player? Is your band a trio, or is it a quartet? What is it? 5 guys. Quintet.
Yep.
So what instruments do you have? I know you have horns, but you have 2 guitar players, or is it 2 horns?
2 guitar players, 2 heavy duty guitar players. You know, Justin, the young man, we call him the boy wonder. He comes from a jazz background, and right now he plays in a couple of ska bands. So he came in well prepared to take our former leader's place, who just decided he was moving out west. So he moved to Vegas and gave me the blessing. I was the last of the original trio. I am the last of the original trio in this band. So he left everything to me. And yeah, Justin, I have two crazy talented guys in my band. They just complement each other so well. And when they're working stuff out, they communicate. Like, they obviously talk on the phone, because when we get together to rehearse, they have it all planned out. Oh, don't forget, you're doing this part and I'm doing this part. And I'm like, makes my job easy, you know?
Awesome. So tell me about what type of horns you have. I'm assuming, I mean, I heard sax, but what else do you incorporate?
That's it. We just have a sax, and it's crazy. So Susie's a mom, and she has a young son, and so sometimes she doesn't come out with us, you know, and we understand. So when we go out without her, the guys we let our hair down and we just kill it, you know. I mean, totally just blast off. The saxophone seems to keep us grounded, you know. It's not just 4 guys tearing at it, you know. Yeah, it's just a saxophone, alto sax. I think she has like 3 saxophones, one small. So I don't know what they're called. But yeah, so far that's all we have. We've had some friends that are multi-instrumentalists and play trumpet who have threatened to sit in with us, and so far we haven't been able to make it happen. But we're looking forward to it. We always say, yeah, hey, you want to come? You want to jam with us, man? We'll put you on. You know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what do you have coming up in the next couple of months?
In April, right now we have the beginning of April, we'll be in Battle Creek at a brewery. We played in Grand Rapids in January, the middle of January. We played out there with this band called the Moonrays, and So there was a guy in the audience, and right away he started, you know, blowing up my phone, kind of. I'm lying. He messaged me twice.
Yeah.
And said, hey, would you guys be interested in coming to Battle Creek? And I was like, what? Battle Creek? And it wasn't until the next day when I kind of sobered up and I looked to see where Battle Creek was. I said, oh, that's closer to Chicago than Grand Rapids. So we're going to go out there and play. Michigan's been pretty nice to us. So we got Battle Creek, and then at the end of the month, we'll be playing in Milwaukee for our friends, the Dick Satan Trio from Milwaukee. It's their record release. And
Okay,
then
good.
in between that, falls my birthday, and there's a bar that I hang out in right down the street, and they'll have music once in a while, and the only music they'll have is 13 Tikis,
Oh,
and
awesome.
it's always on a Sunday. Yeah, it's always on a Sunday. Well, they're a bar that does big business on the weekends, so they can't afford to be having us take up any space that would get them money. So on
Yeah.
Sunday, when it's easy, 4:00, we play 4 to 6, 6:30. But that might be coming up April 24th. It's a Sunday, but in Pilsen here. But yeah, so far I'm trying to get together. Surfer Joe's coming this summer, and he contacted me about a gig in September.
Oh,
And
awesome.
so so that Saturday will be sandwiched in between Friday in Grand Rapids and Sunday in Milwaukee. So I have something going right now, but I'm looking to switch the venue. It'll be the same date, September 24th. But yeah, that's about it right now.
So you'll be playing with Surfer Joe, like on the bill.
Yes, it'll just be us and Surfer Joe.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, if people want to get in contact with you, they want to learn more about your music. How do they get a hold of you?
Lorenzo Friday 13 at gmail.com. That's it.
Awesome.
Call
Yeah.
me. I'm on Facebook. But when I cross paths with someone, I give out a lot of cards, and I have no problem with anybody contacting me personally. It's cool. Like when you contacted me, I was like, I can't do this messenger stuff. Just text me or email me or whatever,
Yeah.
But it's a lot of word of mouth too. If someone could get our information from somebody else, I got no problem with that. Just
Yeah.
call me. Yeah, we're easy. We're easy. We're an easy band to get along with. We like to party. We have fun. We're friends with the Messer Chups when they were in town. I think it was like 5 years ago. We were their hosts in Chicago, and we had a lot of fun with them. We looked it up.
Oleg's a hell of a guitar player.
Oh yeah. He's a cool dude. Svetlana is awesome. When we got done playing with them, so people are not used to seeing a bass player lead a band, unless you're a jazz guy or something. So when I was when we played with them, we got done with the show, and I was talking with them, and they said separately. I was talking with Svetlana. She said, "You're a great bass player." I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And then Oleg came and said the same thing, and I was thinking to myself, "Man, great must be something different. It must mean something." I was like, "There's no way. I'm just a ham-fisted bass player. I play with a pick. I play a Rickenbacker when I'm out there. So I'm not a surf purist. I'll play any guitar, any bass. I switch them up. Take them out, and they all sound the same to me. I mean, the way I play them, it always sounds like I'm playing it. So
Yeah.
but yeah, we've been collecting. We got a nice little collection of international friends. Last time we saw Messer Chups here, it was a couple of years ago, and they were still very nice to me. They're very cool people.
Yeah.
Surfer Joe, we didn't get to hang out that long. We talked, and then it was a Monday night the last time they came through. I said, we'll get you a Saturday night show, and make sure it's in Chicago, not outside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Where are you out of?
Philadelphia.
Hey, right on. What's going on out there?
A lot of punk rock. I think there's two surf bands, and there's one Slowy in the Boats, kind of Hawaiian inspired, surf music. Yeah, they're on High Tide. They're really good.
Okay. Yeah, out here is at one point there was like a million country bands out here. I'm talking about like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Rockabilly still sits on the fringe, you know. We have friends that have been a band for 30 years, and back a long time ago when they started, they had a small scene going, but there's that's why we all play together, you know. We all cross paths great, you know, all the time. We like to play shows together. That way we are able to see each other,
Yeah.
because you know, they're playing a gig when we're playing a gig, and then you got another band playing a gig, and so we don't ever see it as competition. It's just like, what are you gonna do? You know, none of us mean to step on anybody's toes or
Right.
take anyone away from anyone else. It's all pretty cool. It's just, you know, it is what it is. You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's nice
I'm
when
sure
you
it's been
get-
happening.
Oh, it's cool when you can get all together and like hang out and watch each other's bands, right? You know.
That's why we'll book shows with friends. You know, if we
Yeah.
need someone to open up for us, we'll call them. You know, hey man, want to get a show together, and then it's a big party.
Yeah. Right on. Right on. So, is there anything I may not have mentioned that you wanted to talk about?
No, I mean, I'm here to answer questions and chat with you. No, I don't know. I think that when people ask me, "Oh, do you like this band? Do you like this band?" I'm like, I only like 13 Tikis. You know, I don't usually listen to anything else. I like our friends when we go and see them, but I don't own any of their records or anything. I listen to a band called Dinosaur Jr., and after they put a record out, all I do is wait for the next record to come out. And I'm not, I don't know anything about anything other than what I do, and what 13 Tikis does. You know,
Yeah.
it's they say ignorance is bliss, and it is. But I'm always pleasantly surprised when I hear something cool. You know, somebody
Yeah.
turned me on to something. But they'll always say, "Oh, you're gonna love this." I'm like, why would I love it? I don't love anything, you know. But I say that I say that to give them a hard time, you know. I'm like,
Yeah.
why would I love that? You know, does it sound like Dinosaur Jr.? No, all right, no, no. You know, that's so what I listen to is not what I play. You know,
Yeah.
I but I take inspiration from everything. You know, I have a whole ton of guitar pedals. Bass players shouldn't be playing through pedals, but lately I've started incorporating pedals, mostly a little overdrive, put a little hair on it, you know. I got a bunch of stuff. I'm always buying stuff. My wife just walked out, so I can say this, you know. Love, oh, she's gone. All right. Yeah, I'll order stuff just to order it, you know, and then eventually I'll get around to it, or I'll take it to rehearsal or to a show, and I'll plug it in, and they'll be like, "Oh, what was that?" But
Nice.
yeah, I have more guitars, more bass guitars than I should have, but that's how musicians are, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just about having fun, and if we can have fun with friends, we'll do it, and if we can have fun with people who will become friends. Um, there are some bands, especially younger bands, that we used to they would have us opening up for these young bands, and these bands would act like they were like hot shit, you know, like
Yeah.
real standoffish, didn't talk to you, didn't say hi to you, you know, and then they went on and they sucked, you know, and they would put us on first, and I would be so I would tell my bandmates, I'm not saying anything. I'll introduce the band. I'm not saying thank you. I ain't saying a word. We're just gonna blast right through our set, and we're gonna leave the bar real high. And we would do it every time. And finally, I burned the bridge and said, I'm not doing this anymore. you guys suck. And I didn't tell any particular band. I told the venue, I'm not doing this. You call us, you're going to put us on first with all these whippersnappers, who are antisocial, and then go up there and then. So it's the young guys that usually do that. All the bands that we know, they've all been around a long time. Everybody's respectful towards each other. We're all cool. We like running into each other on the street, which happens quite a bit, especially the bar that I hang out in. It's a neighborhood bar. So it's a very well-established bar. And so there's always somebody that comes into me and they're like, hey, Lorenzo. Hey, nice. And chances are great. I know them, it turns out I know a lot of people. Yeah.
Well, it was really nice talking to you, Lorenzo. I appreciate you setting aside some of your time on a Sunday for me. And shout out to Jim for hooking us up. He really he thinks you guys are the best, and he had a lot of good things to say about you.
Oh, he's right. We are the best. Listen, I'm going to take it anywhere I can grab it,
Yeah, totally.
I checked out some of your stuff.
You did?
You did some good stuff, right? Yes, I did. When you sent me the link, or I went on YouTube and I checked out a bunch of stuff. And hey, right on, brother. You got it, man.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate you doing that. Yeah, anything to get the word out, I'm still trying to get the Surfer Jets and Messer Chops. Fingers crossed, one day that'll happen.
Messer Chops are kind of, I don't know, they do things differently out that way. I had another guy interview me, and he was like, you think you could talk to them? I said, listen, I said I was friendly with them. We're not like best friends, and nothing I say is going to persuade them to come on, your podcast or whatever.
Right.
It has to happen organically. They're very, very nice people, very cool, but there's a little bit of the language barrier, you know. It's hard. When I would communicate with them, I'd have to, Svetlana spoke the most English, and then Oleg, and then Rockin' Eugene, he didn't speak any English. He knew a couple of words, but he was still very, very nice. And then when they told him who we were, he was like, "Oh yeah." But that would be great if you can get those bands,
Yeah.
But
I'm a big fan of theirs, and a lot of people that I remember before I heard of the Messer Chops, there was people posting all over. Oh, the Messer Chops are doing a surf show in California, and like all these old punk rockers are posting pictures of the Messer Chops, and I was like, oh, I got to check these guys out.
Yeah, it was awesome to share a stage with them, to hang out with them for a few days. I picked them up from the airport, and it was like 100 degrees out, and I had a cooler in my trunk with vodka and lemonade. All I said was, I have vodka, and they said, we don't drink vodka, we drink whiskey. They didn't let me even get out that I had lemonade. I was just looking for something refreshing to give them on a hot summer day. Right. And they said, we drink whiskey. I said, I have a bottle of whiskey too. And they said, well, where's the lake? And I said, it's that way. And you want to go to the lake? Yeah. So we went to the lake and we drank some whiskey. And then I brought them back to the neighborhood and we hung out, and it was a great visit. I got to hang out with them for 2 days. In between those 2 days, they went to Milwaukee and came back. And then they came back, hung out in my house. I gave them all a bottle of whiskey, to take home. And they were very cool. So hopefully you can get them on the Surfer Jets. I don't know. So
yeah,
it's always cool to see ladies rocking.
They can really play, man.
Yeah, very sexy.
Oh yeah. All right, man. Lorenzo, thank you so much. I was looking forward to talking to you all week. And I know you've got a lot of time under your belt, and I can't wait to hear the stuff you've been writing, and hopefully I'll see you on another comp, if not a whole full length.
Yeah, you know, as we get it together, I'll send you stuff.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I'll send it right to you. I have your email address now, so I might be
Awesome.
bothering you.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. No bother. Would you mind if I would you mind if I played it on our radio show?
No, I would not mind at all. I have something that I'll send you. I have a couple of things that I'll send you right now, soon.
Okay,
That
good.
are ready to go. They're older stuff with our old guitar player, but still, we still play these songs. So I'll find decent copies and I'll send them over to you.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Lorenzo.
Hey, it was my pleasure, man. Thank you. It was a pleasant experience. Salute.
You too. Salute.
Hey, contact me anytime, man.
I will, man. If I'm ever in Chicago, I'm going to come see you guys.
Or any other time, whatever you want. Feel free
All right,
to contact me.
Cool. Have a great night.
All right, see ya.